More now on ISIS and a look at the 2016 presidential politics. We're joined by Republican Senator Lindsey Graham from Clemson, South Carolina. Senator, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
This is now the seventh public beheading of either a journalist or an aid worker by ISIS. When is this going to stop?
When they're degraded and destroyed, and the president has the right goal to degrade and destroy ISIL, but he doesn't have the right strategy. An aerial campaign will not destroy ISIL. You're going to need boots on the ground, not only in Iraq, but Syria, and there's got to be some regional force formed with an American component, somewhere around 10,000, I think, American soldiers to align with the Arab armies in the region and go into Syria and take back territory from ISIL. That's what will make it stop.
You know,
Excuse me.
The Pentagon admitted just last week that ISIS still holds about 20,000 square miles in Syria and Iraq.
Right.
That's roughly twice the size of Massachusetts. There have been 2,000 airstrikes by American and coalition forces. There were just 34 this weekend. Are these airstrikes effective at all?
They won't destroy ISIL. They do help in some regard. How do you dislodge ISIL from Syria? Iraq, you hope you can get the Kurds and the Iraqi security forces and the Anbar Sunni tribes to work together to defeat them in western Anbar and take back Mosul. But Syria is very complicated. You're going to need a regional force, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, the entire region, putting together an army with American people embedded, special forces, intel folks, forward air controllers to go in on the ground and not only dislodge them from Syria, but hold the territory. And you can't do that until you deal with Assad.
I think one of the most alarming things that I've read is that of these foreign fighters involved in Syria and Iraq, that some 4,000 of them have Western passports, which means they could travel to the United States without a visa. Are we watching them?
We are, but we are being overwhelmed. Quite frankly, Syria and Iraq combined are the best platforms to launch an attack on the United States I've seen since 9/11. So every day that goes by, we've got more terrorist organizations with more capability to strike the homeland than any time since 9/11. You got AQAP in Yemen, but ISIL's presence in Syria and Iraq, they're very rich. Foreign fighters flow with passports that can penetrate the United States or in our Western allies. So you'll see a Paris on steroids here pretty soon if you don't disrupt this organization and take the fight to them on the ground. And again, you cannot successfully defeat ISIL on the ground in Syria with a Free Syrian Army and regional coalition of Arab nations until you deal with Assad, because he will kill anybody that comes in there that tries to defeat ISIL.
Let's turn now to politics, Senator Graham, because you announced this week that you are considering a run for president. But as you point out yourself, you voted for both of President Obama's nominees for the Supreme Court. Your critics call you Lindsey Grahamnesty for your support of immigration reform. You believe in climate change. Can you get elected in a Republican primary? Do you even have a chance?
Well, I won in South Carolina. It's a pretty red state. I'm for immigration reform, starting with securing your border. All Republicans agree with that. More legal immigration. You know, paying illegal immigrants under the table is a real threat to the middle class wage growth. That's one of the reasons we need to fix immigration. But my view on immigration is shared by 70% of the American people. When it comes to Supreme Court justices, if I get to be president, I'd nominate Trey Gowdy, and I would expect Democrats to vote for him because he's a qualified person. I thought Sotomayor and Kagan, while I would not have chosen them, were very qualified candidates to be picked by a Democratic president. So I'm very comfortable that I'm in the mainstream of conservatism. I've done very well in a red state, and when it comes to national security and understanding the threats our nation faces, I believe I'm the best qualified of anybody on our side of the aisle to offer an alternative to a failed foreign policy of Barack Obama. My organization is called Security Through Strength. We will never have peace with radical Islam, but we can have security.
All right, Senator Lindsey Graham, we'll be watching. Good luck with your run. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.